Loading. Almost every property buyer in India has heard about this term, and those who have not heard about it are forced to learn it with shock. They are left wondering as to how a 1000 square feet property barely has 500 square feet of usable carpet area. What is loading? Loading is the share of builder's super built up area that is over and above the buyer's usable carpet area. Is it legal? Is it fair? RERA was supposed to put an end to this unfair practice where the developers could only sell the carpet area and not super built up area. But ironically, in most of the markets across India, builders continue to sell on super built up area where loading percentage is no less than 40 to 50% of the space sold. Super built up area over and above the carpet area is sold in the name of creating amenities like club, swimming pool, garden, etc. This raises a fundamental question: why are some Indians opting for new housing complexes with ultra modern amenities while others are content with relatively older buildings without any add-on features? We analyzed the pros and cons of buying a bare shell vis-a-vis an apartment with multi-function amenities. Say, for example, Radhika Mehta, a software professional, bought an upscale 1500 square feet apartment at Baishali, Ghaziabad on the Delhi UP border at a price of 2 crore. The said newly constructed housing project is loaded with high-end amenities and state-of-the-art features that could be envy to her friends. On the other side of the Delhi border, her long-time chartered accountant friend Sarthak Sharma uh, preferred to buy an apartment of the same size at almost the same price at an old housing complex in Patparganj. This group cooperative housing society just has a bare shell and no amenities and add-on features. At the respective housewarming parties of the two friends, the stark contrast between the two houses was quite evident. While Radhika was blushing with compliments that now onwards she would be living in a house loaded with community club, swimming pool, gym, theater, sports options, and many other life enhancing features, everyone noticed that her 1500 square feet apartment was too cramped for an average family to live. Sarthak's house, on the other hand, was spacious enough to give the impression that he had bought a much bigger apartment at the same price. He nevertheless had preferred. Some thought he compromised to not get tempted with all the modern amenities that are an intrinsic part of modern high-rise buildings today. This leaves a pertinent question that confuses many of the home buyers across the major urban centers of India. Who made a better financial decision? While a 1500 square feet apartment could only give Radhika a usable carpet area of 850 square feet, Sarthak's living space was close to 1300 square feet. Hence, his cost of living space per square feet actually was much lower than Radhika. The housing market of India has been on a constant growth curve in the last few years, and more amenities are being added to the project to make it attractive to the new age buyers. However, more open spaces and amenities in the common area comes at a cost. In terms of the marketability of the project, the housing complexes loaded with the amenities definitely has an edge. However, these amenities are being created at the cost of the apartment owner's share. The buyers are not only loaded with higher pricing but also reduced carpet area, as one can see with the experience of Radhika and Sarthak. Loading is a function of amenities and more open spaces, but it is also a bone of contention between the builder and the buyer in many cases. While the customer preferences have changed over the years, leading to extra loading and extra amenities in new buildings, it also affects their affordability. Developers maintain that the amenities and enhanced lifestyle is adding up to the loading. They maintain that it's all about transparency, and if a developer is providing more amenities with upfront declaration and the buyer wants these amenities, then there is nothing wrong with it. Buyers even go for bigger houses and bigger projects to avail that. At the end of the day, it's all about the ticket size of the project that matters to the buyers. Whether you jargon it with upfront 1,000 square feet or call it 1,200 square feet, the buyer evaluates the price and the given space. This is what the builders maintain. Builders also assert that everything is RERA compliant now and you have to declare it upfront. There is no mismatch between the amenities and the carpet area. It's a project specific case to case basis, and you can only construct to the extent the authorities allow you on that given piece of land. Even if you reduce the amenities and give more carpet, you would only give less than 10% to each individual unit. In terms of the ratio, you don't get even 5% more carpet if you compromise on the given amenities. According to builders, they don't cut corners with the carpet area, but the price point determines the extent you create open spaces and amenities. Some industry analysts indicate the aspiration and changing needs when they point out that to move in from an independent house to high rise apartments, home buyers need to have a good common area, the lobby, club, etc. because here the outside infrastructure is non-existent and everything has to be provided within the housing complex. The thickness of the wall itself is consuming 7 to 8%. Somebody has to pay for it. Again, if you are not keeping open areas close to 10 to 15%, you are not giving them value for money. If builders are to be believed, the Indians need to come out of certain predetermined notions if they aspire to live comfortably. They maintain the bottom line is that while calculating the loading, transparency should be there and one should not cheat. Uh, for example, in one of the projects of a developer wanted to give away with the balconies because he felt it won't be used, and instead wanted to increase the carpet area inside, but the market did not accept that. So it all depends upon the buyer's choices, and there are takers for both the kind of projects. Problem and the element of suspicion on part of the buyers is more with uh, the under construction projects, where the project is sold much before the end user has actually seen the apartment from inside, since most of the old buildings are sold in the secondary market and the buyer can see what he is paying for. The impression gains ground that the new housing projects with ultra modern amenities are compromised with the carpet area. In a competitive housing market, there can't be any standardized loading formula, as housing itself is not a standardized product. However, some of the independent analysts often suggest that there should be an upper limit of the loading in various segments of housing. This is imperative because even well-informed buyers who understand terms like super built up area, carpet area, and loading percentage, they fail to calculate it in a housing market where more often than not the developers define it as per their own definition. New buildings advantages. What are the advantages? Apartment with lifestyle, amenities within the complex, more open spaces, designated commercial zone for utilities. What are the disadvantages? Lesser carpet area, higher maintenance cost. Old buildings. What are the advantages? No extra loading, more carpet area, reasonable maintenance cost. What are the disadvantages with old buildings? No amenities, old design and specifications, lesser demand in resale market. At the end of the day, it's the buyer's call on the amenities that one wants and how much loading he is ready to pay for in exchange. But the problem is that since there can't be a defined formula, there will always be a suspicion. This could only be removed with a strict compliance on selling only the carpet area and not super built up area. Will this ever happen? I have no answer to such ethical questions in a housing market like India. So I just rest my case. Thanks for watching.